Hi, I'm Greg Dell here with Cesar Gavidia. And Cesar, today I want to talk about when is the best time to file a long-term disability insurance claim.
Well, the best time and the time that a disability claim should be filed really is at the point where your condition, your medical issue that is impairing you or giving you so many problems and challenges in performing your occupation, essentially, rises to the level where you're either not able to effectively perform your occupational duties any longer, or it's impacting your ability to perform those occupations to the full extent that you were able to perform them prior to this medical issue. And in many cases, it starts also impacting your income.
So it's a complicated decision and probably one of the most difficult decisions to be made in any disability claim. Remember, if you have a group policy, a lot of people have short-term disability.
Right.
So very often they start with the short-term and then transition to the long-term. But for the person who's watching this video and they're saying, I'm having difficulty at work, I have whatever my medical issue is, am I eligible? And I think that's when that's the most difficult thing, because if you file at the wrong time, the disability carrier is going to say, well, we don't think you were disabled at the time that you filed.
Yeah, and look, every case is unique. You have people who suffer some catastrophic injury all of a sudden. Really, there's no choice. They can't go into work the next day.
Right.
In other cases, there's a little bit of a buildup and anticipation of this condition is causing me so many problems that I know I can't continue doing this for much longer. And in conjunction with with your doctors and what they're advising you to do is when you need to begin thinking about, or is it time for me to file?
Right. So obviously you could have an acute injury, and that's a no-brainer.
Right.
Potentially. I mean, it could be an injury where they say, well, even though you had that injury, we don't think it's disabling. But let's assume it's an obvious one. So most of the difficulty comes with the chronic conditions.
Mm-hmm.
It also comes where you have a chronic condition or you had an injury and you go back to work and you try to work through it. And then they go, well, you had your condition, you kept working, so therefore you're not disabled. But I think the key of what you just said a minute ago was it's about coordinating care and treatment with your physician. And there's so many people who call us and say, yeah, my back's been bothering me, I haven't been to the doctor in 2 years, I want to file disability tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And does that work?
Look, I can't say it doesn't work. I mean, there are cases that may work. The insurance company may look at it and say, well, this person may have stopped working, but then they went to the doctor 50 times, and very clearly, there's a problem here.
Right.
But it usually doesn't work that way. The insurance company is always looking for this history, this medical history of established, visits with your doctor and a certain treatment protocol, and of course always looking for objective evidence and objective support within that stack of medical records.
So what I would say is that if you want to, the best time to file is after you've undergone all of your diagnosis,
Mm-hmm.
you've done some treatment, you've been to multiple doctors for all of the ailments that are bothering you, and then you have a discussion with your doctor to say, look, all of these things are affecting my ability to work. Do you think it's reasonable that I cut back at work? Do you think it's reasonable that I stop working, and would you support me?
Right.
And those are the things that we work with all of our clients to help get them to, make sure they're receiving the right treatment that the disability company is going to look for, because you as a claimant may think, oh, I'm seeing my GP, my general doctor, for a back problem, and that's going to be sufficient. But the disability company is going to say, no, you didn't treat with the right doctor. So, did you have an MRI, an EMG? Did you have nerve conduction study tests? Did you have x-rays? Did you have a scan? Did you have the proper blood work? And those are all the things that we know the disability company is looking for. Look, we're not doctors, but from helping thousands and thousands of people, we know what the disability company wants to see.
Right.
So what I suggest to people is if you're considering filing, or you've already filed and an application's pending, at any of those times you should call us and we'll work with you to put a plan in place to get you in the best position possible to get either your short-term or long-term disability claim approved.